Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
In today's podcast, we're covering Norm of the North, which was considered one of the worst kids movies ever made at the time.
Yes, and in this Egg Timer review, this movie follows a polar bear voiced by Rob Schneider, who travels to New York City to convince a company to not build condos in his Arctic home. Yes, that is really the plot of this movie.
Yes, it is. And before we start with whatever the heck this is, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification when we update some future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yes. And for all of you that are regular viewers, you know how much we love Adam Sandler and his family of comedians who are in his movies. So we wanted to be fair and give Rob Schneider a chance on this movie and not be judgmental.
And we heard about this movie for quite a few years now, and lots of the animation reviewers just hated on it. They really didn't like the movie. And, we didn't see it when it first came out, so we found it recently, and we thought, let's give it a chance. Sometimes we like movies that are really panned or hated by reviewers or critics alike. So we watched it, and for the first about 10 minutes, it wasn't bad. It actually was just okay. It was watchable. Then after that, and he started dancing, then the movie went downhill from that point on.
The bears that weren't bears or didn't look like bears and supposed to be bears. The thing that was really weird is there was no congruency with the way the bears looked. None of the bears that were bears looked like the same bears. They were all polar bears. They didn't all look like polar bears or like they were the same bears. It was like a polar bear, and then the girl polar bear looked like a grizzly bear, which didn't make any sense.
Right?
Why don't they all look the same? They're polar bears. I mean, she can have some eyelashes or something, a girly figure or something, but why does she look like a polar bear and have this huge head?
Right.
And then the others didn't look right either.
Right? And they could have had some noticeable differences, maybe in the face, but keep the body the same so you knew, okay, this is a polar bear, but this one's different from this one, and you could tell the difference. But here it was just like, they're all from different shows, and they crammed together in one movie. And not only that, not only the polar bears didn't like polar bears, but they had animals that didn't even belong in the Arctic. They had lemmings. Arctic lemmings, why aren't they white then? You have caribou, seals. Well, seals make sense. Caribou, who should not be in Arctic, can't survive in the Arctic. And then orca whales and seagulls. It's like, did you bother looking at a map or Googling or anything? You just throw them together.
It's like they confused Antarctic with Alaska.
I guess so. And then the plot itself is that the humans are coming there as tourists, and they like, why are they coming as tourists?
We're booking tourists to Antarctica. Don't you want to go?
Right, when there's no human civilization for miles. The entire continent.
Even Artemis Fowl got that right.
Right? So for here, apparently a company wants to build houses in the Antarctic and have like some luxury high-end condo there, and it's a vacation spot, and it's like, yeah, imagine living here and you have neighbors that are just bears knocking on the door waiting to eat your behind.
The same people that buy these houses also buy stars, and they buy bridges, and they buy
plots of land on the moon.
Yes, it's like, and the worst part was the conversations and the lines didn't make any sense at all. These characters said some of the dumbest things ever said in any animated movie ever, and a lot of times I just sat there looking at the screen like, did they really just say? That character really just said, what the heck is this character talking about? What?
There's even one scene with the lemmings. They're supposed to be comedy and they aren't. And there's one uncomfortably long scene where they just whiz in an aquarium. And it's like, you think it's going to be done in like a few seconds, a quick shot, but they keep holding on it. And they keep going. And it's like, why are you doing this? This isn't as funny as you think. It's not even that funny. It's like, is it over? How long you been holding it in? It's just like, what's going on in this movie?
Unfortunately, this movie deserved the negative reviews that it got. Rob Schneider, we love you and other things, but unfortunately, this movie here is not one of them.
No.
I would have rather seen maybe a unique idea. You could have done maybe Polar Bear Express, or done
Maybe something like that.
different that was not only creative, but also had some lines that made sense, and also not trying to have real estate in a place you can't have real estate.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they done a movie about polar bears and try to do something creative with it. But they did something so generic. It's like, why'd you bother with this? Whose idea was this? And worst of all, I think they've done 4 movies of this. This is now a franchise.
If you are any of the 2 people that have watched the other 3 movies, let us know in the comments below. Otherwise, if you've seen this movie, let us know why in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
And don't look for more Norman the North reviews, because we can't take it.
No, he's been hunted and mounted on the wall. That's the end of movies.
So, thank you for joining us for our Egg Beaters review.
Yes, I'm Masculine Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.